with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Phil Grandy and Phil's Gang presents the Life-Saving Financial Webinar. This webinar will guide and teach you how to understand the stock market and become an experienced investor. Learn from the experts on market trends and short and long-term investments. Join Phil Grandy, Steve Celeste, and Will Sharp Saturday, June 24th, noon to 3 p.m. Eastern. $80 pre-seminar, archived for 2 weeks, or $125 post-seminar to purchase the archive. Get more info at philsgang.com. Why are investors listening to Phil Grandy of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. You know, over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. You know, I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records, and the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this. But it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Philsgang.com.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
The thing about the economy is that today it's still doing fine. Consumers in great shape. Home prices have gone up for 10 years. Asset prices have gone up. Their debt's in good position. It's okay. We have issues down the road.
Lie detector test determined that was a lie.
You know, it's amazing when you hear these guys like Jamie Dimon. They live in another world. I mean, he has a $122 million Gulfstream 2, I think it is. And he uses that every day. He doesn't pay for it. He uses it every day. The bank gives it to him, fly home every night, and then he's flying back to the office in the morning, limos, all that. He has no clue. He has no clue about the real world or the workers in this country. Terrible. And the point is, it's amazing that our economy right now, when he says stuff like that, it aggravates me because our economy right now, currently, is in such a deepening economic downturn. It's incredible, but nobody wants to talk about it. The fake Business News Network doesn't ever talk about it. They always come up with this kind of stuff. And then how many times do I play this all week long on my radio show?
Consumers remain very resilient.
Very resilient.
I mean, it's been amazing how resilient, in a way, the consumer has been.
And the consumer's not resilient. The consumer's suffering. Proof. Wages are in their 25th contiguous monthly decline. 25th contiguous monthly decline. Wages. You don't hear anybody talk about that when they say, oh, consumers are resilient. See, what they interpret as resilient is when someone goes and takes equity out of his home, 2, 3 mortgages. When they take money out of their 401k, they take money out of savings to pay their bills every month. Boy, he's doing great. No, once you start withdrawing, you're on your way to bankruptcy. But they consider that good. Withdrawals from savings and 401ks and pension funds and insurance policy, they think that's terrific, as long as they keep spending. This is crazy. So wages are in a 25th contiguous monthly decline. And by the way, you think CEOs want workers to have good wages? What are you, nuts? They want more money going to the bottom line. And what's the biggest expense? Wages. They'll do everything they can to cut those wages back. Don't give benefits because they want those wages to go to the bottom line so they have more money to use for stock buybacks. So every time they're ready to do a stock buyback, they get more options, and as the stock price goes up, they get richer and richer. So it's not true what Jamie Dimon is saying. Here's some more proof. Dimon doesn't know what he's talking about, or just either he doesn't know what he's talking about, or he's just lying. If things are so good, then someone answer, why is it the 2-year and the 10-year yield curve is inverted? There was one honest guy, and Willie, my producer, found this. It was great. Listen to this.
The premise that the economy, we're going to have a soft landing and the economy is actually resilient and the economy is accelerating. How could anyone say that if you look at a 2 versus a 10-year and the deep inversion, not only here in the United States, look overseas, look at Germany. Germany's 2 versus 10, deepest inversion since 1992. That's not a sign of growth in the economy.
That's a sign of recession. But 80% of the people who buy stocks have no idea what an inverted yield curve is. They have no idea. Just like they have no idea what a treasury yield is and how you should look at that treasury yield, understand it before you buy a stock. But these are the things we're going to teach tomorrow. And I hope if you didn't sign up yet, please sign up. If it says it's Phil, keep trying because we do get cancellations. But these are the things you're going to learn tomorrow. Most people have no idea what yields are about. But getting back to how everything's wonderful, we're in for a soft landing, there's more proof that that's a lie. Let's take our earnings. If things are so good, then why is our earnings, the fourth quarter of 2022, has the biggest drop in 2 years. Someone explain that to me. And the first quarter of this year here we're in right now, we just got the earnings just finished, lowest since the second quarter of 2021, those earnings. Terrible. And our economic GDP growth, we're not growing. We're not growing. Trump handed Biden an economic GDP growth of 5%. Here, 5%. I've been working, I grew the economy, even though you had me impeached 3 times. Here's your 5% GDP. Now, the latest readings was the fourth quarter 2022. So we went from 5% to 2.6%. And then it's even gotten worse. In the first quarter of 2023, we're in right now, we've gone from 2.6% economic GDP growth to 1% economic GDP growth. What are you, nuts? And they're telling us how great, and Jamie Dimon's telling us how great the economy is, and the fake business network. Get a life. Debt and deficits. There's some more proof. We have the biggest, we just went to a 32 trillion national debt. Wake up. Our deficits. Do you know we're averaging now every year we'll be averaging about $3 trillion in a deficit? Meaning we spend $3 trillion more than we take in revenues? And by the way, our revenues have been record highs. These people are crazy in Washington. They just keep spending. And then they keep saying, oh, what a great economy we have. We're going to have a soft landing. What are you, nuts? Debt and deficits. Deficits are killers. Ask Rome. Just like, remember, deficits cause inflation. And inflation, remember, is scary for a president, except for this one. The consequences of deficits alone are bad. Our national debt increases. Our savings are reduced. Our economic growth is contracted. Our interest rates go up. The cost of borrowing goes up. Now that's linked to, that's our deficits. They cause our inflation. And then the inflation is linked to increase in price of goods and services. Those keep going up higher than our wages. And who's that hurt the most? Who's that hurt? The low-income people. The very people that all these Democrats say we're here to help. They're not there to help any working person. They're there to help the guy on Wall Street. Inflation lowers our income, lowers our dollar. Our dollar gets so weak we can't purchase anything. You go to the grocery store, you used to get 2 bags for $100. Now you get a half a bag for $100. And that's linked to the market being unable to sustain enough momentum to recover all its lost ground. That's why we have yet to recover all the lost ground from January 4th, 2022 to October 14th, 2022. I mean, it's just frustrating when they keep saying how everything is so great. And then they're not preparing people to make money in a down market. That's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Make sure you sign up.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you start making money, please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
What, are you nuts? Coffee's up 92%, lumber's up 67%, heating oil, 60%, gasoline 55%. I understand why you guys are telling me raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com.
Why are investors listening to Phil Grandy of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here. And it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Phil Grandy and Phil's Gang presents the Life-Saving Financial Webinar. This webinar will guide and teach you how to understand the stock market and become an experienced investor. Learn from the experts on market trends and short and long-term investments. Join Phil Grandy, Steve Celeste, and Will Sharp Saturday, June 24th, noon to 3 p.m. Eastern. $80 pre-seminar, archived for 2 weeks, or $125 post-seminar to purchase the archive. Get more info at philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, now remember you can listen to me on our syndicated radio show, also our podcast. You're on Facebook, you're on Rumble, YouTube, Apple. And on YouTube, I do these, what they call small shorts. They last about, I don't know, about a minute, 1 minute. And you should watch them. They're really interesting. I'm confined to 1 minute, and I talk about the market and what's going on in the market. It's free. You should check it out. And, again, keep listening to our podcast. But let's get back to, when I tell you our economy currently is in a deepening economic downturn, I'm talking about a recession like you've never seen. But the problem is I can't get that across because of this garbage.
The thing about the economy is that today it's still doing fine. Consumers
are doing fine. Yeah, he flies around in his Gulfstream jet, doing fine for him. But what about the family that's making between $35,000 and $75,000? What about them? They're not doing fine. And listen to this.
As long as we have more people looking for people to work than people willing to go to work or able to go to work, then we're going to have decent consumption. It will have positive economic growth.
That's a whole bunch of nonsense. I'm so sick of hearing about, boy, we have great labor strength. Labor strength, that's going to save us. We have more people. We have more jobs available than people that fill them. Well, maybe if your jobs weren't so crappy, because most of your crap jobs are part-time with no benefits, and this country has been built on entrepreneurs. And when people didn't, one of the big reasons people didn't go back to work, they say, well, they have all this money from all the checks. What do you mean all this money? How long do you think $1,200 lasts? Or $300 lasts? No, many of these people said, you know what? I'm sick of it. I'm tired of these crappy jobs. I'm tired of 2 jobs. I'm going to find a way to make a living. And that's what people did. I'm not saying everybody. This country was created with the entrepreneurial spirit. So all these people, when we had the COVID and they shut down the economy, and yeah, they got checks. Sure, they got checks. That money's gone so fast. The jobs suck. And when you're sitting here right now and wages are in their 25th contiguous monthly decline, adjusted for inflation, 3 out of 5 workers are part-time, the 2-year to 10-year yield is inverted, which means we're in a severe mess, our earnings are contracting, our economic growth contracting, our debt is expanding, our deficits are expanding. Deficits are a killer. That's because they're spending too much money. And at the same time, the Federal Reserve keeps printing more money to keep fueling its banking system with enough money, liquidity, to hope they can keep it afloat, to hope it won't collapse. That's exactly what they're doing, but they're not being honest with anybody. They're duct taping the banking system together. Take a look at your bank stocks. I show it every morning to my members. I say, let's look at the S&P, let's look at the Qs, now let's look at the let's look at the S&P, let's look at the Qs, now let's look at the banks. And the banks are horrible. In fact, gold is outperforming the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the banks. But my point is the banks are lagging, and that's very dangerous. But no one wants to tell you that. So at the same time, they continue to fight inflation. So they took the zero rate and they raised it to 5.25. What are you, nuts? When every time for 13 years when they raised the rates just 2.5%, the market would immediately crash. And we are witness to that. We witnessed that February 19, 2020. They said, oh, that was COVID. Market dropped 32%. We witnessed it again in January 4th, 2022. The market went down 24%. But that's because they raised rates to 2.5%. Each one of those crashes was because of 2.5% from zero. But when they dropped rates to zero in March 23, 2020, after COVID, We had this biggest rally ever, 114%. The rally shot straight up, 114%. And then they said, well, let's raise rates again. And the market crashed. How can we be sitting there with a rate at 5.25 when for 13 years they've done everything to keep rates at zero? You don't think this? You really think this rally we're in now is sustainable with a rate of 5.25? What are you, nuts? And they're going to raise rates 2 more times this year, 2 more times next year. This is nuts. And guess what? When they raise rates 2 more times this year, 2 more times next year, it's going to do very little to contain the inflation. The inflation keeps growing, and they keep lying to you. The inflation keeps growing. Because why? Because inflation is being fueled by the heavy supply of money and liquidity. They've been doing that since 2008. Money supply, keep printing, money supply, keep injecting it so we can keep rates low. And what do they come up with, Powell and the rest of them? Oh, no, that's not the reason we got a problem, not the money supply. No. We got an economy overheated because people go spend too much money. What are you, nuts? What a lie that is. How stupid. What a stupid thing to say. People are spending too much money, that's why we got a problem. No, we got a problem because you keep on, we got lousy jobs. Here's another thing that really gets me. The Democrats keep talking how they're for the real little guy. They're for the little guy. When the hell are they going to get off their arses and do something about child care? Women want to work. Do something about child care, but do they? No. It's unbelievable.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy this stock. Then you have 2 people on their show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right, follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals, you follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Why are investors listening to Phil Grandy of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, it's like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth.
How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you a fan of the Phil's Gang radio show? Then you should check out philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Remember, while I'm doing a live radio show that's syndicated, at the same time, you can listen to me on Apple, on my podcast. I'm doing my podcast right now on YouTube, Apple, Facebook, Rumble. And then I post the radio show. I archive it on those same YouTube, Apple, Rumble, and Facebook. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Just put your common sense hat on. If for 13 years, 14 years, we decide to destroy our country, not us, okay, our owners, who control the Federal Reserve, control Congress. They decided to destroy our economy with inflation so they could get rich from inflation, the asset class, by continually keeping rates at zero. So for 13 years, they said, we got to keep rates at zero. It's important to keep rates at zero so we can loan that money to CEOs at zero so they can buy their own stock. And the stock price will go up, and that price going up is going to trickle down to you, the guy who's making $12 an hour, $15 an hour, $20 an hour. It's going to trickle down to you. This is what they've been saying for 13 years. It's a bunch of crap. Got to keep those rates at zero. And every time those rates went up to 2.5%, we would have a crash. And the two best examples, and you're probably sick of hearing it, but the two best examples are March 2020, and the last one, January 2022. Last year, 2.5%, both times they both crashed. Now we're at 5.25. Common sense. You really think the market's not going to crash at 5.25? Ask anybody who's in the housing financial market in 2005 to 2006 when GW had to raise rates to 5.25. We had the biggest housing crash in history. You really don't think that we're facing a huge crash anytime, and you don't know how to sell short? That's what's really upsetting to me. Look, it should not matter to you what these clowns in Washington are doing. It should not matter to you what that clown Jamie Dimon is doing. You should always be in a position when you wake up in the morning and you see the market's either up 500 points or down 500 points. You should say, I don't care, because you're going to make money either way, if the market's up 500 or it's down 500. That's the point you got to get to, and we'll get you to that point here at Phil's Gang. And what will help you is go to our webinar tomorrow. It's $80. You have it for 2 weeks. Best investment you'll make. Invest in yourself first, for God's sakes. $80. But think about it again. You really believe we're okay with this rally? We're up 23% right now with this rally. We bought stock in this rally, but we didn't buy stock. We didn't buy the stock, just 2 months ago. We bought stock in January, February, March. But the point I'm trying to get across is, how could anyone sit there in their right mind and just be whistling by the graveyard who's buying stocks today, who's buying Meta or buying Apple or buying Facebook today? Are you nuts? Buying right at the top with an interest rate of 5.25%. When you got right next to you two best examples of what happens when rates are at 2.5%, the market crashes. Oh, we got to have a soft landing. Soft landing. Corporate earnings are contracting. Productivity is contracting. Manufacturing is contracting. The dollar's contracting. Are you kidding me? All in a steep decline. Construction spending. It's in its 19th straight monthly decline. Housing starts and permits, and their 4th consecutive quarterly decline. Existing home sales, a 24% year-over-year decline. But everything's going to be fine, according to Jamie Dimon. No, just stay in that 401k, put more money in it, you're going to be just fine. Inflation remains so highly elevated, especially groceries and necessities. What they're doing is not working, but they're not raising rates to have it beat inflation. That's not what they're doing. They're printing and printing and printing more money to try to save the banks. We have the most dangerous scenario right now that's playing out. The Fed has raised rates 10 times since last year, with the fastest tightening since 1980. Are you nuts? At the same time, are you kidding me? We have a contraction in earnings, both the last quarter of 2022, the first quarter of 2023. What are you, nuts? When in 2.5 years, Biden has increased the national debt by $4.5 trillion to $32 trillion. The annual interest cost is now going to be $2 trillion a year. Biden's run rate for deficits is $3 trillion a year. What are you, nuts? And Jamie Dimon, everything's fine. It will be fine when you see the market start going down and you position yourself so while stocks are going down, you're making money. That's when it's going to be fine. You could care less about inflation or anything else. You could care less about we have no more discretionary dollars, no longer are part of consuming goods. Discretionary dollars are now going to pay your credit card, going to pay your bills. You don't take discretionary income. When people take their discretionary income and they switch it from consumption to paying debt, credit card debt specifically, that means we are in such deep trouble. Discretionary dollars. That's when things get really dangerous. So when people, after they pay the taxes on their salary or wages, and after they pay all their debts off and their rents and their liabilities, that money is what you should consume with. That's how you build a country. Not withdrawing from your home equity, not withdrawing from 401ks, not withdrawing from your insurance policy or selling it, not going to the credit card that you're going to pay 20 to 27%. Something's going to break. It's going to break. And at 5 1/4, it's going to break. And we're going to make sure when it breaks, our members are going to be thrilled. They're going to be thrilled. And everybody says, well, why isn't the market going down? Why is the market going? Why is it being delayed? Why is the market being delayed and going down? Because of all the liquidity they keep putting in it. When you keep putting liquidity in, rates stay low. That's the delay. Look at the liquidity they're printing right now for these banks to try to save the banks. You have no idea how bad these banks are. This is much worse now. The banks are much worse now than in 2008. But no one's going to square with you. No one's going to tell you. Everything's okay, Jamie Dimon says. Everything's just great. What are you, nuts? When we're spending 40% more than the tax revenues collected, paying a historic $2 trillion a year in interest on our national dollar, we have to keep borrowing from China. The yield curve is deepening. 3 out of 5 workers are got lousy, terrible, crappy part-time jobs. Wages can't keep up with inflation. So look, join my gang free for 10 days. Just try it for 10 days. You'll learn more in 10 days than going to Princeton or Harvard. Also, tomorrow, $80. We're going to have a webinar. 3 consecutive hours. 12 to 3. 3 straight hours. 3 straight hours. This is the stuff we're going to go over. If you just get one thing from it, just one thing. So go to my site, philsgang.com. Go to our gift shop. If it says it's filled, the webinar's filled, keep trying because we have cancellations. And sign up for the free 10 days, okay? We're a gang member.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over 6-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days, philsgang.com. Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you start making money, please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day?
That's unacceptable. African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
and we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grandy has some sound reasons you should join Phil's gang.
When I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay. Remember, sign up for tomorrow. If it says it's filled, just keep trying, okay? Because we do get cancellations, so check it out. Check it out. One thing you've got to understand why, when I say come to my webinar or join the gang, Phil's Gang, free for 10 days, you got a place to go to learn. Remember, members of Congress, they don't respond to our demands. Members of Congress only respond to the demands of the very wealthy, to the CEOs, to Wall Street bankster gangsters. That's who they respond to. Why? Because they have deep pockets. They have bankrolls for their campaign. That's who they respond to. Do you remember Obama? Obama, when he went in and he took over GM, 2010. And he got up there and everybody thought he was God. They're going to build a statue for him. And he was God. Took over GM. And he promised everybody, if you worked at GM, now you're going to make big wages again. You're going to make big pensions again. Everything's going to be wonderful. He screwed you. When GM went public the second time in 2010, thanks to Obama, know what they're bragging about? Not about, hey, we got pensions back for our people. Hey, we got health care for our people. We got child care for our people. No, they didn't brag about that because that didn't happen. Know what they bragged about? That 43% of their cars are now built in place. What's that mean? Less labor. That means they could get the labor down from $35 an hour to $15 an hour. And Obama was bragging about that. So now they could just pay the lower tier wages because they could build the car in one place. Who benefited? The company. Because, see, the more money the company gets, the more stock buybacks. You've got to learn how to invest. The days of being in a 401k, the days of being, it's over. You're not going to make money that way. There's no more about, you got to learn the fundamentals of a company. Nothing, that doesn't help you. Doesn't. See, these CEOs do not care about America. They do not care about their workers. They don't care about anything except How much more money can we get to the bottom line so I can do more stock buybacks and I got more options? Look, we'll teach you, if you just are disciplined, stay with the same 6 stocks all year. The same 6 stocks. And 2 ETFs. We do this every day. Stay with those same stocks. All you have to do is learn to sell short as well. To buy a stock, you can turn around and short the stock. Then it doesn't matter what these gangsters do. Doesn't matter what they're doing with the market. You come in the morning and the market's going down, your stock's going down. We got the charts, we got the tools warning you, and then you're going to make money when your stock goes down. You stay with the same 6 stocks. The 80% of people who lose money in the stock market will turn around and be part of the 80%, always make money consistently, as long as they're disciplined to stay with the same 6 stocks. Now, we also have what we call a bonus pool of stocks. Give you an example. We have our stocks that we're in every day. JP Morgan, Apple, a gold stock, Anglo Gold. We have MRO, Marathon Oil, Boeing, and Target. But we have bonus stocks that we trade. In the tech sector, Microsoft, Apple, Meta, NVIDIA, and Amazon. And guess when we bought those stocks? In January, February, and March. Most people are buying them now. Going to get killed. Banks, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citi, and Morgan Stanley, and Wells Fargo. Discretionary, CMG, Hershey, McDonald's, Starbucks, and DRI, Darden Restaurant. That's all you need. Those are our bonus stocks. That's our world. 6 stocks with those bonus stocks right there. Those bonus stocks. That's all you have to do. You don't need to go outside of those. In fact, the fewer stocks, the more money you make. The more bored you get, the more money you make. Boring is a wonderful thing because that's when you start making money in the stock market. When you're borrowing, when you're bored to hell. When you have the same stocks day in and day out, you're so friggin' bored. But that's where you're making money. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Because you get the same 6 stocks. Because you then control the stocks. You control the stocks. Because you make money when they go up, you make money when they go down. When you listen to all this other garbage, when you listen to this garbage...
To me, we have the strongest economy perhaps I have ever seen.
You lose money. When you listen to this guy.
I don't know where people think things are bad if everybody says things are so amazing.
Isn't that amazing? And then you listen to this guy.
The thing about the economy is that today it's still doing fine. Consumers in great shape.
Yeah, everybody's in great shape. Call him, ask him. Wait, Jimmy, I'm a little confused. Why is the Fed short-term rate at 5.25? Isn't that dangerous? The market's up 23% and the rate's at 5.25. I mean, for 13 years, haven't you guys been keeping rates at 0 to make sure the market doesn't drop? But now 5.25 is okay? What's keeping it up? See, he'll be embarrassed to tell you. He'll be embarrassed to say, well, we financially engineered Apple and Microsoft. We printed and put $15 trillion in those 2 stocks so that we can hold those stocks up for as long as we can. That's why the market's being held up, even though we're at 5.25. And then when we stop doing that, we pull the bid out, we're going to be ready to short, and the market's going to fall like a flying monkey. But think of all the people getting into those same stocks today, Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA. They're all getting in today. Imagine that. They're going to get so screwed. But we're going to help you. Go to our webinar tomorrow. It's online. You don't have to come. It's online. If you can't make it tomorrow, it's fine. You have it archived for 2 weeks. Join our gang. Join our gang. Free for 10 days, for heaven's sakes. If you don't like what you see, that's it. You're done. You don't have to pay anything. Free. 10 days. And once you understand the market, how it works, that you got to stay with the same 6 stocks. We drill that in every day. Same 6 stocks. So you're so bored you want to scream. The same 6 stocks. But you look over in your checking account, you're in your account, trading account, and it's getting bigger and fatter. because you've been with the same 6 stocks. Not just buying them. When they go up, you're making money. When they go down, you're making money, because now for the first time in your life, you're learning how to sell short. That's what we do here at Phil's Gang. What's wrong in being in the spiders? If all you did was stay in the spiders all year long, knowing how to sell short as well as going long, using our color-coded chart that tells you when to buy and sell. We have a chart called the Pro 2. You'll see it tomorrow. It's the best chart in the world because it tells you about the money going into the stock and money being pulled out. I don't care about the PE ratio. I don't care about the free cash flow. What do I care about the margins? I don't care about any of that. None of that makes sense anymore. It did 15 years ago. It did before 2008, but when they started QE in 2008, all bets off. And Wall Street's still brainwashing you. Still brainwashing, making you believe when they give you a stock, the earnings have something to do with it, or the margins have something to do with it, or their inventory has something to do with it. Are you nuts? Nothing to do with it. When move stocks up and down, they print more money, and they're going to shove that money in. It's called liquidity. Put more liquidity in the market. More liquidity in the market. Keeps interest rates low. Keep interest rates low. But again, what's driving me nuts this week, someone answered me. Do you really think the market's up now 23% is going to stay up when the Fed rate's at 5.25%? But yet, the last 2 crashes were because the rate's at 2.5%. So someone justify that. Hey, join our gang, sign up, go to our gift shop, and attend this webinar tomorrow. Invest in yourself first.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.